It's time again to crack open the Summoner's War art book, and today we're going to be looking at the Hargs and some secondary awakenings. Hargs are imaginary creatures described to have the horns of a goat, long ears, and rodent-like feet. They're described as being the spirit of the forest, and they use the constellations in the night sky to tell fortunes. They even have stars in their eyes to complete the thematic look. Now, all this talk of stars and spirits makes me want to draw connections between them and the spiritual realm boss. She has the night sky and constellations floating in her body, and she even has a crystal ball. Maybe the Harg's prayers go to her and they're given fortunes in return. Before we get into the lost skin concepts, let's look at the Harg's Forest Wizard transmog featuring a kitsune mask and a matching fox companion that's reminiscent of the Onmyuji's. It even has more of those Ofuda tags we talked about in the last episode. Here we go. The Hargs, unsurprisingly, have a lot of designs, and unlike some of the other monsters we've seen, I'm not entirely convinced that these won't be utilized in the future, or at the very least, they'd serve as a jumping off point for something. Let me show you what I mean. This skin featuring a cursed doll and the spirit dwelling within would be perfect for Halloween. It reminds me of the occult girl's relationship with their bear, and remember, the bear is implied to have less than benevolent intentions. It's revealed that he's straight up plotting against her. Something about this ghost feels a little less scheming though. Maybe it's the eyes. Speaking of Halloween skins, here's a spooky traveling mage concept for the Harg. He has little ghost friends chilling on his hat, and a detail that eluded me on the first pass was that the hat has a little face on it. It's got eyes and a mouth. Now, whether or not that means that the hat is sentient is another discussion to be had. I'll talk about these next two at the same time because it seems like the design team is just aching to make a Harg summer skin. They both feature watermelons in their design, and this one has a little crab in it. I don't know why they haven't gotten around to doing something like this, but maybe the timing just hasn't worked out. Here are a couple more that feel a little nautical in tone, but in different ways. This first one has a big conch shell for a hat, and it looks like it could be interacting with spirits of the ocean via its horn. Here's Dova looking like a little fisherman. All of these are so cute. I like all the skin concepts that feature the Hargs doing some kind of lighthearted activity too. Next up, I want to look at how we got to the final designs of some Second Awakened monsters. The Inugamis in particular were the very first of the Beast Suite. So by proxy, that means they were the first Second Awakenings to be designed, like, ever. Here we get a unique look at the Inugami without its accent pieces. So we see the wide stance, the unruly mane, and the full profile view, all without armor. And it's a pretty striking change from the original to the next awakening. The martial cats, by comparison, had an even more dramatic shift. Looking at both at once, we can really see how much they departed from the original design. The new hair, stance, and accessories all did wonders to modernize the martial cats, but after all those changes, you can still tell that they're the same monster family. The Kitty Girl transmog gets a whole page and a whole paragraph in my script because you can own this hoodie. The very same one she's wearing is available on the Come To Us online store. So after you're done looking at these cool sketches, go check that out. It's linked in the description. Now the Howls get an amazing section in the art book. First, we get a lot of action poses that really emphasize the dynamic between the trio after their second awakened. Somehow in these brief moments, we get to see their personalities shine through. We can tell that one is more confident than the others, but when they work together, magic really happens. We're also treated to some concept sketches of the individual Howls that make up the trio in the 2A form. And that 2A form, by the way, almost looked totally different. The vibe of these concepts almost look to the Howls as the Inugamis do to their original, by which I mean they look like huge, intimidating versions of their previous self. While I wouldn't necessarily call them menacing because several of them seem almost timid, they're definitely big, and I love that they still maintain that shy nature even here. It shows no matter how different they look, it's still the same Howl under there. Like I mentioned during the episode, the Summoner's War art book is available on the online store. Everything that you saw here today and everything that's going to be in future episodes is available within those pages. So if you'd like to check it out for yourself and follow along, you can visit the link in the description down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.